What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
In today's video, should Christians show PDA and be open about sex, specifically on social media? That is the topic at hand. Publicly on social media, boom, boom, wham, slam, grand slam. All right. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
So, Morgan, you actually came up with this topic earlier when we were deciding on topics for today's live. We landed on this. Why?
Well, our good friend Bethany, who happens to be on here watching this, hey girl, posted a reel last week, I think, and it just really stirred the pot.
Stirred things up a little bit.
Of the Christian and non-Christian, just everyone, but we'll say specifically the Christian community on her Instagram specifically. People who followed her. I think she mentioned like she lost a lot of followers. Feel free, Bethany, to write in if you did or didn't, or correct us on anything we say. But I remember watching the reel and being just super intrigued with the conversation that was going on around it, and Paul and I were having conversations, and I think our friends were in town, and so they saw the reel as well, and we were just like all talking it up. And so I was just like, let's talk about this, because this is an interesting topic. I think she brought up some really good points on her Instagram that I fully agreed with, and then she maybe said some things that I maybe disagreed with.
Boom, boom. Let's do it. And I like this, you guys. Obviously, when you're talking about anybody, whether we make a video on Hailey Bieber or responding to Skillet, John Cooper, or literally our friend Bethany, who is in the chat right now. I don't think we've ever done that where we've dropped a video and the person we're talking about has been in the chat. No matter what, I want to be able to have the person we're talking about be in the chat and be able to have this discussion as Christians, iron sharpening iron, lifting each other up, challenging each other. It's all like, it's profitable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it can all be done in a loving way. We can disagree and we can walk away being totally still just as close and solid, maybe even more solid because we talked about stuff.
Yeah.
But who knows what's going to come out in this conversation. Honestly, Bethany's saying she's scared to hear what we're going to say. We're scared to hear what we're going to say. No.
So Bethany's reel is like at the crux of the subject matter, but it does open up a bigger conversation. And we will kind of explain what that's going to be about. As we get started, guys, if you're happy to be here, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm. If you believe in this content and enjoy it, get the word out. Also, we have a new Patreon incentive. We're going for our 300 Patreon goal.
We're trying to hit that 300.
We are at 236. Guys,
we're not that far off, you guys.
No.
We can do this.
Help us get to 300. It literally is a huge deal for the channel. We could not be doing this channel and the content without the supporters on Patreon. We don't get many brand deals at all because of our conservative Christian subject matter. We've had brand deals canceled. So this is where it's at. Help support the channel. And for the next 30 people to become $5 patrons
or above by November 29th, you're going to receive a personalized journal that has like a little design. We'll have the actual journal and design on Monday, but in our live, but it's going to be a very personalized journal with, in your first page, a handwritten note by one of us.
It's going to be a Have Hope Be Free journal. Yes. So get in on that. Go to patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow. The link is below every video. Next 30 people by that date. All right, Morgan, let's dive in. I think without any further ado, let's show the Bethany from Girl Defined. Many of you guys know Bethany and follow her. Follow Girl Defined. Let's just go ahead and show the Instagram
and if we
reel.
haven't already said this, I want to make it clear, we did ask Bethany for permission if she was okay with us talking about this, if she was okay with us sharing the reel, putting her picture in the thumbnail. She gave us a thumbs up and said, go for it.
Was it her words that said, well, ultimately she enjoys having these type of discussions, and that's really cool. So we're grateful for that, Bethany.
All right, let's watch it. it.
Bethany, how did it feel watching that your reel with everyone else in the in the audience?
Watching it live.
How did that feel?
Oh my goodness.
I want to like just look at
So
some.
funny.
Okay, I just want to see a few of the people commenting in the live chat right now.
Okay.
This is Bethany said, ah. Kayla says adorable. Mary Elizabeth, ha 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 ha, poor Bethany.
In her description of the reel, she said, "My teeth almost broke doing this. We hit teeth so hard when he got the whipped cream. Keeping things fun and spicy."
Fun and spicy.
Oh, Bethany said, "I'm here with Dave." Yay! Hey, Dave!
Dave, the other perpetrator. Wait, what does perpetrator mean? I don't even know what that means. The other
person like involved.
The person.
LW
Yeah.
said, "I don't see the problem. I thought it was adorable." Okay, I'm excited to talk about this.
All right. Okay. Let's move right in. Morgan.
First thoughts.
Whoa.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. When I saw this reel the first time, Bethany, it's so funny that she's on here.
Yeah.
But
Just
no,
be
I
honest
like
with
it.
us.
I like
What
it.
was your immediate response after watching it?
I was laughing when I first watched it. I think my jaw did drop a little because I was like, oh, okay, they are using the whipped cream and all.
The whipped cream has entered the building.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like I honestly, I don't think that I have that strong of an opinion on the reel itself. Like, Bethany, if you had like come to me, we lived neighbors or whatever, and you come to me before you posted and been like, "What do you think?" I would have been like, "Go with your conviction. I don't have a strong opinion." Like, is it something that I would do with Paul?
Would you have made that reel with me?
I don't know.
How about this?
I don't think I would have been able to think of that.
That's a good point. The mind of Bethany, because if you guys follow her on Instagram, her reels, some of them are she posts a lot of reels, which I post a pretty good amount. Morgan posts a pretty good amount. Bethany, I think, ups us.
You post a lot, girl.
And
Way to go.
Yeah, and the complex mind of Bethany is, and lots of different. But can we read a few, because I screenshotted a few of the top comments, or the comments that were pretty high on that, and let's just kind of see what people are saying.
Okay.
All right. One of them said, "I feel like I'm watching something I shouldn't be." Someone said, "Is this honoring to God, Bethany?"
Okay.
Or is this honoring God, Bethany?
I don't know how it would be dishonoring.
Well, and
God.
then someone replied to that and said, "Why wouldn't it be? She's literally just having fun with her husband. I think it's cute." Someone said, "Girl, I like your other reels, but this is too far. Crying, laughing face. Keep this kind of fun in private. It's kinda scarring to the rest of us."
Okay, you can keep reading, but now as I continue to process, I'm like an out loud processor. So as we continue
That's
to talk
what we
about
want.
this,
That's why we're.
I'm processing it more. And when I first watched it, I won't deny, I was kind of like, is this weird? Is this too far? I don't know how I feel about this. This seems a little strange. There's whipped cream involved. It's kind of a sexual thing. And then I was like, but then again, it's just whipped cream and chocolate chips. But now, like, I've watched the reel, like, over several times, many a times. We've given you lots of view counts on that. Because we watched it, like, several times to try and get screenshots and whatever. And, like, the more that I watched it, the more that I was just like, this is just, like, goofy and cute and funny. There is nothing sexual about this, in my opinion,
Well,
the more that I watched it.
But I guess a question is, because Bethany, in her description of the reel, said, what was it? Getting
intimate and spicy, keeping things intimate and spicy, or
she said
keeping things fun and spicy.
Keeping things fun and spicy. So she's obviously realizing that there is a element of within a husband and wife.
Fun and spicy.
Fun and spicy. And so a question is, is it appropriate for a Christian husband and wife to bring their fun and spice to a public forum, to a public audience?
Yeah.
Let me read just a couple more. Someone said, maybe ask the Holy Spirit if this is bringing your followers closer to Jesus and helping them in this evil fallen world to live out their Christian walk with the Lord. That's an interesting one. Someone said, I don't see anything wrong. People see wild things on TV, and you are just inspiring and teaching Christian couples to enjoy and be playful in their marriage. Keep doing your great work. And then last one, someone said, I may not agree with Bethany on everything, but I think it's important to show young Christian girls what healthy intimacy looks like in some way rather than treating it like a taboo topic. Better to see some whipped cream in a healthy relationship than learning from erotica or adult films. When we don't talk about these things, and this is interesting, when we don't talk about these things with young people, they learn elsewhere, and that can be damaging. It's past time for us to loosen up a little and to be honest with children, teens, etc., so they are prepared for life.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think just as I continue to think more on it, like the more okay I am with it. Not that I ever was like not okay with it, but it maybe did make me feel like a little uncomfortable at first, because I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm peeking into something they're like
That I shouldn't be?
their sexy time. I was like, is this okay? I just don't know. But I don't know. I liked, so after this reel came out and people started pushing back and Bethany lost a lot of followers and was getting a lot of comments, she kind of made several stories following up and just sharing her perspective. And one thing that she said was just like,
paraphrase that, because I want to be able to take that into the equation.
Yeah, and Bethany, if you're still on here, you can correct me if I say something wrong, but this is paraphrasing. She said that, you know, she finds it sad that there are so many Christians that are totally okay with watching movies and TV shows where there are unmarried actors having sex with one another or pretending to have sex with one another, like acting it out. And so many Christians watch that and are totally fine with it. But when a Christian married couple posts a thing online of them being a little PDA or getting spicy or whatever, people flip out and lose it, are not okay with it. The same people that are absolutely okay with going and watching 50 Shades of Grey, whatever. She didn't mention that movie, but
that's to an extreme.
Right. But I think that is a really good point. Why are we so okay with watching like TikTok videos of unmarried boyfriend and girlfriends being super sexual and intimate, or watching a movie that has a ton of sex scenes in it and make out scenes and whatever, and we're totally fine, that doesn't bother us at all, but then we see a Christian couple online kiss or share some whipped cream and we're like,
so if I were to push back on that position a little bit, it would be, and I can't remember what Bethany said. I actually wish I had those in front of me. But it just based off of what you said there, I would say, okay, but what about the people that are very vigilant to protect what they watch on TV? Mm-hmm. And so that wouldn't really apply to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is a good point. And so I guess what, you know, and I trust Bethany and Dave in their, like, just their hearts and their walks with the Lord, that if they felt convicted of like, man, this could lead someone astray, like they would not post that. This could make someone lust, like they're not gonna post that.
Those of you who follow Girl Defined, like they are some of the most quality godly women in their channel. Like they do such a great job of creating an environment that exactly what Morgan's saying.
Purity,
it's just purity, holiness, godliness, set apart from the world. So I completely agree with that. I guess so. For those people who maybe are very vigilant, I don't want to watch stuff on TV that could potentially cause me to lust or get into the stuff that Bethany was talking about. Mm-hmm. I would say when it comes to this, and I do have something else I want to bring up, but I would say personal conviction. If you hop on Instagram and see that reel that Bethany posted, and it causes something in you, you might need to hop off quickly. But I do think a very big number of Christians could watch that, could see that this is a married couple, and actually glean some good stuff from it. And that's where I want to get into our, we'll just call them sexual conversation cards.
They're called Sexpectations.
Sexpectation. Great Sexpectations. It's a very good book. Just kidding. Never read Great Expectations. But Great Sexpectation cards. So Morgan and I, probably 2 weeks ago, were just like, and I'm just being vulnerable, being real with you guys. I desired to have better communication when it came to sex, because those of you who maybe aren't married, those of you who are, it can be challenging, like, to have communication just in general when it comes to marriage is a challenge. It's something that I think all married couples are going to have to work at and improve at. When it comes to sex, it's the same. And I found myself just wanting to be able to bring up some stuff with Morgan. I want to open the door for her to bring up stuff with me, and just feeling like it could get better. And so we were talking about, what can we do? Let's find a book. And funny enough, Bethany, you actually texted Bethany after she dropped the reel, because we were like, okay, Bethany obviously seems like someone open to talking about sex within marriage. And we texted her, and she recommended that we get these Sexpectation cards. Show them the card, Morgan.
All right, this is the card. Oh, I gotta hide my face. Great. Okay, it's really bright. Okay, there we go. You can kind of see it. We can link these below, but basically on every card, there's 52 questions, and one on each card. And they're just questions that can get a conversation going about just sex and things about being intimate. And, you know, for example, this one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with our sexual intimacy? What would a 10 look like? So then you just have that conversation, and that's a question that, like, not many people would think about asking.
And we went over a couple of these cards yesterday.
Yeah, but the point of bringing these cards up.
Yeah, so these cards were really a blessing to us. And I remember we got the cards yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And Morgan was like, Paul, let's post a picture of us holding these sex cards to Instagram. And for a second, I was like, ooh, should we? And then I was like, yeah. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I wish more people in our Christian circles would be open about this stuff, would be open about, hey, we're working through communication when it comes to sex. Here's some tips that you guys might want to try out. Like, you want to use discretion, but actually having these conversations, sex within marriage is a beautiful thing and should be encouraged. Vulnerability, tips, advice. So I was almost like more than happy to post this picture to Instagram.
Right. I think, like, you know, this leads into the question of, should Christians talk about their sex lives on social media? And, you know, not that reel that Bethany and Dave made was necessarily talking about their sex life, but, you know, then she went on to share in her stories of just how, like, she feels like Christian couples should be much more open, and, like, she personally, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I got was that she personally wants to be more open and just, like, encouraging in her just PDA with her husband and in their intimacy to encourage other young Christian couples, or just Christian married couples in general, old or young, to be fun, to have a good time in your marriage, to have a healthy, beautiful, fun sex life. And it's hard to know how to do that, honestly, without the help of other people and, like, things like these cards. Like, I mean, I've talked about this before, about how I just feel like the church has failed in this area, and I don't want to say that every single church, but to me it feels like the church as a whole and just Christians as a whole have kind of failed in, like, talking about sex like it's a good and beautiful and wonderful fun thing, and it's something that can really, like, be just, and is supposed to be, an amazing thing in your marriage.
So, I hear what you're saying, Morgan. All right, so I got to kind of have one more pushback before we open it up to the comments. Okay, when I think about, let's just again go back to Bethany and Dave's reel. I look at that. Yeah, it was a little bit like uncomfortable, a little bit, but again, to something might be uncomfortable that to someone else they might really appreciate. Fine. I was thinking about what would push this reel over the edge to where I would very confidently say I did not feel good about that reel. And I was thinking if there had been perhaps, and this sounds kind of weird me saying it, but like immodest clothing along with the reel. So then it goes from a fun kind of sexy with your husband whipped cream reel to I shouldn't be watching this. To me,
you call that real sexy?
I'm just saying like a sexy fun reel. But so then I went to this was another question I had. We were not fans, and we actually made a video sharing that we were not big fans of the Chandler Moore wedding photo that he posted right after getting married. This was 6 months ago, 3 months ago.
I don't know. Yeah.
It got huge attention in the Christian world. We both landed on the side of we don't feel good about this very influential Christian worship leader for Maverick City Worship posting a picture where it looks like him and his wife on their wedding day in their wedding attire are
they're grinding up on each other,
engaged in a sexual position. And there was a big to-do and hubbub about that. The sides were split.
Yeah.
We came down on the side of we don't feel good about this. So how does that apply to this?
Well, in my opinion, it's much different. It would be interesting to hear you guys after like Paul bringing this up. Like, how do you feel? To me, it's much different. I don't think like Bethany and Dave were trying to make this like a sexy, like sexual thing at all, but
Chandler Moore wouldn't have said that he was trying to do that either.
It's true.
And Chandler Moore and his wife on their wedding day, they weren't wearing immodest stuff. I can't remember what her wedding dress looked like. I don't think we need to get into like the details, but it wasn't like they were wearing scandalous stuff. Right. So you can't really pull that either. So why did we fall on the side of we don't feel good about the Chandler Moore, but we do feel good about the Bethany and Dave?
I mean, I feel like it's a personal conviction as well. It just goes like, some people are going to find Bethany and Dave's video too far and some people aren't. Some people like us are going to find Chandler Moore's picture too far and some aren't. I think that it's a gray area. It's not black and white. And so it's just your own discernment, your own conviction. For me, I felt like the photo was way different than this reel, but I could see someone being like, no, it's similar. Like, it's still a sexual thing. Like, whatever. Bethany said, because y'all love us.
And I'm kind of wondering to myself, am I being...
Right, is it because they're our friends?
Is it an implicit bias? Is that the word, implicit bias?
Right.
Is it because we know and we trust to such a great extent Bethany, and we're a little more like, do we trust Chandler Moore? Like,
to me, if Bethany and Dave posted that same exact outfit, it was on their wedding day, and they did that same pose.
Yeah, would we have had the same response?
I would not be okay with it. And I would maybe say something like, guys, this is too far. Like, I love y'all, but this is too far.
Bethany, in the comments, if you don't mind, just go ahead and share what you thought of the Chandler Moore wedding photo controversy.
Yeah, that's true, because maybe you're totally fine with that.
Because that would actually, if you were like, they were married, I felt fine about it, that would be interesting to note.
Yeah. Yeah, to me... for someone who is careful, like we're careful about what we watch and stuff, to me, I was looking at that photo of Chandler Moore and his wife and thinking like, man, for a young boy who comes up upon this, like, I think that it could very easily make him or a girl stumble, like, in lust over whatever. And I don't have that same feeling at all with Bethany and Dave's, and maybe it's again because the way they're dressed, the way they're sitting or standing. Like, if they were doing that in their bed, I would maybe be like, let's not do that.
Bethany just said she hasn't seen it. Let me look it up. Bethany, you are a social media influencer, and you didn't see this story that took the Christian world by storm? Yeah, take a look. Just type it in. You should be able to find it pretty quick, Bethany.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. And I was, again, thinking about it, like, if Bethany and Dave had been, just the clothes they were wearing were more scandalous, maybe they had been laying in bed, or I thought about Morgan and I, if we were going to post those, like we did on Instagram, we were going to be holding up the cards on Instagram, but we were both laying in bed, and I'm not trying to create too many visuals, but I had my shirt off, and Morgan was wearing her bra or something. Like, obviously that is a whole nother level that we wouldn't touch.
Right.
But to just post the deck of cards sitting on the couch, for Dave and Bethany to be posting a fun story that is kind of steamy, I do agree with you. You got to be using some personal conviction there. I think that it's kind of like different with the two.
Think that honestly, again, this is my opinion, but I think that the Chandler Moore photo was just much more explicitly sexual. It just was. I think that the reel was just a good time, like fun, silly, whatever. I think I saw Michaela post that as well, her thoughts. But yeah, I don't know.
So doesn't this go to show, and
even if it was both real and photo were totally on accident, like it was not, they weren't trying to be sexual, they weren't trying to make someone lust. Well, sometimes if you do certain things, you're gonna make someone lust. You're gonna come off looking very sexual, and it's like, oh, you didn't think about it all. Okay, we get that, but this is kind of what happened anyways.
Yeah, because I really don't think Chandler Moore would say we were trying to post this picture looking really seductive or sexy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to come down like real one way or another. You know, I don't have a ton of clarity when it comes to Bethany's reel. I'm not going to like super endorse it, and I'm not going to come down really hard on it either. I'm kind of sitting somewhere in the middle. But doesn't this just go to show, when you have a Bethany reel that's getting some heat, a Chandler Moore photo that's getting some heat, that a lot of things... There are a good amount of things when it comes to being a Christian that are black and white, and a lot of things just aren't. And I think we as Christians often want things to be just black and white. And so we just, they posted that, black and white, that's bad. That's bad because this. And it's like, there is a spectrum, and maybe that is where, as a Christian, we need to use discernment. The Bible says whatever is not done in faith is sin. If you can't watch that reel in faith, maybe you need to move on and not watch it.
Right.
But if you can, and your conscience is clear, there does seem to be a spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
It's an interesting conversation, and I wish sometimes I'll go into a topic like this, and be like, what do I believe? Where do I fall? And I wish that I had like a really strong, good insight from the Lord. Here's what the Bible says. Here's what the Lord is teaching, and this is the correct answer where you guys should fall as well. A lot of times I just don't, but it's good and helpful to discuss this like we're doing, and then kind of leave it a little bit open-ended for you guys.
I think all in all, I am for... I literally have my water bottle. I am for more Christians... married Christian couples being more open about, and like we've made plenty of videos talking about, answering your most whatever desired sex questions. But yeah, I think I'm definitely open. I desire that. I desire to see that more Christian.
And real quick, Bethany said, I've got to go. Davey has swim lessons. Great video. Can't wait to catch the end of it later. Really glad you could tune in, Bethany and Dave. God bless you guys.
Yeah, I just think that does need to be more of the case. And I think that we have stepped into a day and age where so much more is shared because of social media, when it just wasn't the case years ago, when we didn't have Instagram, when we didn't have TikTok, when we didn't have YouTube. Like, that just wasn't the case. And so we've come into this whole new way of life and a whole new way of like sharing our lives and sharing the things going on in our marriages and whatnot. And I think that we're still learning what is okay to share and what maybe needs to be kept to ourselves in our marriage and just between the two of us. So I don't know.
Yep. I was going to say also, and then I want to get to your all's comments, and especially like the comparison with the Chandler Moore wedding photo. I'm curious to see what you guys think. It is interesting to see the way people respond. Like, the way Bethany responded, she left the reel up. Chandler Moore, he left his photo up. Chandler Moore came out and posted a kind of apology, but then at the end of his apology, he pretty much said, but get ready, there's going to be more photos like this to come. So it was just kind of like a sorry, not sorry.
Right.
I think you can tell a lot by the way they respond to the criticism. Let's see what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I really am curious. Comment below your thoughts on this topic, on the reel, and let's keep the combo going. And make sure you jump in. The link is below. Become a patron. Next $35 patrons or more get
Next $35 patron. It sounded like you said $35.
30 patrons at $5 get the Paul and Morgan journal.
$5 here or above.
Yes. All right. Whew. Guys in the live chat, where are you guys at with this? Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's see what Susanna says. Susanna says, I think it's partly the intention behind it too. If it's referencing to a private sexual act, it's probably not good. Talking about it and making visuals are different. That's good. Rashida says, totally different. There's almost nothing sexual in the whipped cream video, and the Chandler Moore was an actual sex position.
Yeah.
I just don't like when people try to lump everything together and then maybe watch this video and say, so you guys were not fans of the Chandler Moore, but you are fans of this. Hypocrites.
Right.
Maybe some people could approach it hypocritically, but I don't think you're allowed. Like, there is a spectrum.
Yeah,
Chandler
I
Moore
really think that there is
not this. This is not the Chandler Moore. Fair enough to decide if you're okay with both of them, if you're okay with neither, if you're okay with one. Have that conversation, but don't just blanket statement these things.
Yeah.
Octavia says some people have different level of comforts with sharing things, though.
Yeah, like I said, like, would I post a video like that with me and Paul? One, I don't think I ever would have come up with that. And two, I don't know, like, we've posted goofy things in the past that have been like,
well, we have made
PDA.
several sex videos.
Yeah,
Christians,
where we get into a lot of detail about sex and just where we've been at in our sex lives.
maybe not a lot of detail.
Okay,
that sounds pretty gritty.
Not at least that. But we're open with you guys. We want to talk about this stuff, like I said, because it does feel like it just needs to be talked way more about in the Christian community, rather than kids going off and learning about it through TikTok and some girl sharing about how she has sex with her boyfriends or whatever. It's like,
What would you guys say to that? Because I do think that's a good point. And if you kind of take the super, like, this stuff is untouchable, and then so they go elsewhere when it could be talked about, like, who would you rather be, making reels or talking about sex than Bethany? Like,
right.
Literally,
Yeah.
when you know her and their ministry, I think there's something to be said to that.
Yeah.
Guys, real quick, as we get to questions, if you want to do super chats, they bless us in the channel greatly, and we'll make sure to get to your question very quickly from a super chat. Let's see. This is interesting. Laura says, I do not want to have to worry when watching Christian content, especially with my children. That is all. LOL.
Yeah, I can totally get that. And I think that it is something that, if you see that come up on your feed and you just don't feel comfortable with it, then mute or unfollow if that's what you have to do. But to say maybe like, oh, but it absolutely should never be shared, I don't know if that's the right answer, because it's like, right now, I am totally fine with that coming up on my feed. I'm not going to be like weird or awkward about it if anyone sees that. But if I had a little kid, I don't know. I still might
A little
be
kid
totally
wouldn't.
fine with
I don't
that.
think they would understand.
But yeah, they would not. They'd be like, I want to do that. Give me
Which
some whipped cream.
might not be great.
I want to eat some whipped cream and chocolate chips.
Kendra, and while I read Kendra's comment, you mind playing the reel one more time just in case people are tuning in and they're going to go back and try to find what we're referring to. Let's throw it up there one more time.
Okay.
The reel. Kendra, Christine says, I'm going to be honest, it made me a little uncomfortable. But I don't necessarily think they were wrong in posting it. I think the music choice made it feel weirder, in my opinion. I'll agree.
The music was...
I will agree. The music did give it a little more feel of...
But maybe that's what they wanted, that, because they were like, no, we want it to be kind of spicy, There
you go. Let's see. Michaela Huffman. Let's see what this says. Also, I can walk into the kitchen and see my parents doing the whipped cream thing any day. If I saw a photo of the Chandlers, or like Chandlers, I'd probably scream because, ew. So, Michaela, do your parents do the whipped cream thing regularly in the kitchen?
Oh my goodness.
I think both. If I were to walk into the kitchen and see my parents doing either the whipped cream
I would just be like,
or the Chandler more, I would.
okay, first of all, can we not sexualize whipped cream? Jeez, oh Pete. Sometimes I just want a thing of whipped cream.
Whipped cream.
Delicious.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Let's see what else.
Goodness.
But Michaela, I hear what you're saying, and I do think I think that the Chandler Moore post was worse.
Yep. Sorry.
I could go back and I could compare and contrast. I could spend...
Michaela said it has happened more than once. LOL.
Oh, whoa. Well, but we got to think about this though. We have to think about this. Bethany's post. It wasn't like there was anything implicitly sexual
there was not.
other than just a flirty and then the whipped cream.
But again, whipped cream is not a sexual thing. But people have made it like a thing for some reason.
So the Chandler Moore was, it seemed worse. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Elizabeth with a super chat. Thank you for that super chat. Getting the super chat ball rolling. Mary Elizabeth coming through in the clutch. Love and appreciate you both and all the laughs.
Oh,
I hope that we can have a good laugh at almost any topic. Life is too short and things are too crazy not to be able to laugh.
There are some things though that you probably shouldn't laugh at.
Occasionally you shouldn't. Okay, Octavia B says, if it were a Christian gay couple doing the same thing, would you have the same viewpoints or would they change? And you wouldn't want it shared at all.
Well, thank you for your super chat.
Thank you for your super chat. Yes, that is an interesting question that we can answer.
Christian gay couple is an interesting statement.
That is an interesting statement considering that Jesus said, man shall leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will be one flesh. Like, we don't even need to really get in right now to all the ins and outs and breaking down verses, but Jesus's words.
Mm-hmm. I would feel far more uncomfortable with the fact that it was a gay couple, because that's the issue there, not that they're putting whipped cream in each other's mouths. Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything in scripture in regards to marriage is a husband and a wife, man and a woman. So, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Michaela says it's happened more than once. I never saw that stuff with my parents. Maybe if I had, I would be like,
good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly, I think that's another thing, is that Christian married couples, like, when you have kids, doesn't mean that you should all of a sudden stop the PDA.
I'd be curious.
Stop showing your like, letting your kids see that you guys are in love and you're attracted to one another and you have an intimate relationship. Like,
I would be curious if there's anyone in the live chat right now married with kids. Did your PDA or affection change a lot once you had kids? Because I would hope, God willing, that we have kids soon, in the future, that we're still able to be flirty and kissy.
Oh, we better be, Buster.
Yeah.
I will not be happy if we're not. Lovey-dovey.
Let's see. Shadya says, most people's minds are in the gutter. Appreciate this. You guys are hilarious. Love you both.
I think that is another thing. It's like, honestly, the pure minds, the minds that aren't in the gutters, would see that and be totally just not affected by it at all and be like, oh, this is funny, this is cute. Like,
well, but what if...
Look at them. They're cute.
Okay, I don't think your mind needs to be in the gutter...
Right.
...to perhaps have used whipped cream in a sexual way.
Well... No, babe!
You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make your mind in the gutter.
Right. No, it doesn't. But I do feel like...
To use massage oil in intimacy, and then every time you see massage oil, you know what I mean?
Think about sex. I'll say, when I see whipped cream, I think about pie. And also that movie... What was it? Is it a Disney movie where the little girl has a cute little orange cat, I think? And, like, she makes the cat a meal, and it's, like, whipped cream and chocolate chips, and she's, like, mixing it in a bowl, and it looks like the most delicious thing you could ever eat.
Does anyone know? Is it animated?
Yeah, it's animated.
Can anyone... I have absolutely no clue. Is what Morgan is sharing a real movie? What she just described. If anyone gets this in the live chat, I will be super impressed.
Oh, hey, Candace. She said, I just realized that this is live. I thought I was watching the playback.
Oh, no. We could literally do anything we want right now.
It's kind of scary.
Live.
It's scary, honestly. We kiss or hug in front of our daughter, but something like whipped cream in the mouth, heck no.
Okay, so here's a comment that it says it's being held for review.
Oh. Oliver and Company. That's what the movie is.
Oliver and Company.
So I'm watching that tonight.
Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Morgan. Are we allowed to get a little bit questionable here? Listen, guys. You know the nature of this video. You see the direction that it's gone. It's getting a little bit...
We should be able to laugh at this.
It's getting a little bit vulnerable. If you don't feel great, again, if it's going against your conviction... then hop off of this one, and we respect you and we love you. But again, I feel like there is a place for this. So anyway, Terry says, my husband spanks my butt and pinches my butt in front of my kids. We want them to see a healthy marriage.
Oh, that is so funny.
You know what? I think there can absolutely be a place for that in a healthy way. Again, it's like if you never showed any affection in front of your kids, they're probably, sadly, going to find and seek it out in another way. But if you have healthy flirting with your husband, with your wife, and then you have those conversations with your kids, that's probably going to be the best, assuming you don't go insane.
Yeah, it's like, how do you teach your child how to find a man or a woman who is going to be a healthy partner. What does a healthy marriage look like? What does a happy marriage look like? How do you do that? It's so much, in my opinion, a better way to show them is literally showing them, not just telling them this is what you need in a husband and this is what you should be looking for, and if they do this, that's great, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I think that showing them just this is what a healthy and happy marriage is. Your mom and dad have a really healthy and happy marriage, and I hope that when you get older you will desire what we have and more, whatever. So
It is interesting to think about perhaps kids growing up and their mother and father are not intimate, don't show affection, maybe are even cold to each other, and then that's what they see, and then they get to be an adult, and that's kind of in their mind what a husband and wife, what a marriage looks like. And that's sad.
Yeah, or they're like, I do not want to be married because I saw my mom and dad, the way they treat each other. I don't want any part of that. Or, there's so many different outcomes that you could have, whatever. But, yeah.
Yeah. Squishy has seen some stuff.
Squishy.
Candace, what's up, Candace? Good to see you, Instagram friend.
Hey, girl.
My husband and I give each other long hugs in front of our daughters and will kiss each other and flirt, but no makeout sessions or anything too intimate.
Right. There's a line. There's a line, okay? Lock the door when you go to bed, Don't need any surprise visits from the kiddos.
Kendra says football players spank each other's butt and we think nothing of it. And that was enough to display... Oh, wait. I jumped into another comment. And that was enough to display love. That didn't make a lot of sense. Where was that, Kendra? Oh, when we think nothing of it. I think it's cute in marriage.
Football players spank each other's butt. That's hilarious.
Here's one. Let Live Bake says, my parents flirt all the time. My dad grabs my mom's butt and other cute stuff like that. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. It makes me excited to have that with someone someday.
Good.
That's cool. That's a cool comment.
Yeah.
You want to read a few?
All right, let's see here.
This is really interesting. This conversation has taken a really interesting, but I feel profitable turn.
J Love says, Squishy said, if only I could talk.
We would silence her.
We would put her in her bedroom.
That's really interesting because my parents did not, it wasn't like they were by any means like cold or didn't show any affection. They kissed and stuff, but there wasn't anything really much beyond that. But it's kind of like whatever you see kind of becomes normal to you. Well, okay. What are you saying?
Feiho said, I know a couple who did that spanking and all that in front of their kids. The kids one day started to spank and butt pinch other people. Yeah, that's something that you should probably have a conversation with your children about.
You're going to need to have some conversations along with demonstrations with actions. You say, don't do this to your third grade friends.
Yeah.
This is for a husband and a wife to do.
Oh.
This is for a husband and a wife within marriage.
Yes.
To do, and it's healthy in marriage.
Yes. It makes me cringe when my parents sensually kiss in front of me, not just a quick peck. I mean, yeah, that'd be a little weird. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna leave. You guys have a good time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these are great.
This is fun.
Yes.
Man, having a YouTube channel. The conversations that we get in.
Yeah.
Help us, Lord. Give us discernment. Give us wisdom. Protect us.
Yeah.
Don't let us do anything too crazy that we regret.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What else are they saying?
Let's see. This is fun, Lorraine says.
This is a good time. Very vulnerable.
When is your next live Q&A? Monday.
And sometimes these live Q&As, we will just open it up to...
Just a live Q&A specifically.
It doesn't need to be topic related, and those are fun too, but these topic related ones are nice as well.
Yes. Let's see. My worry, Jonathan says, my worry is it could lead others to stumble, lust, and objectify her. I guess we're talking about the reel specifically. Even if it's not sexual for one, it may be for others. If this wasn't in a Christian context, would this still be okay? I would say if it's in a married context, that's really the main thing, is like, that's what I would want it to be in. You know, and I personally don't think that this video caused, like I said earlier, if Dave and Bethany felt like really convicted on their hearts, or even just a small like little nudge of this could possibly make someone stumble, like they're not gonna post it. But like at some point the person viewing the video is gonna have to be strong enough to be like, you know what, I shouldn't watch this, like it's not right for me, or it's making me struggle, and they move on. So yeah. For the sexpectation cards, were there any that were too indecent to talk about? We've only done 2 of these.
We read 2 and they lasted us like 45 minutes of discussion.
Yeah. So we don't know what all the cards say, but I think that any of these like are gonna be safe to talk about within marriage. I would not say buy these and talk about these with your boyfriend or girlfriend. This needs to be done in marriage and talking. But yeah, I think like Paul and I think you even said something like before we went into talking about it, just like, are you ready to just be open and vulnerable or something and talk about stuff that maybe is a little uncomfortable to mention? Or like, and also something that we made sure we did when we did these questions was like, hey, you know, although we might be voicing some things that like we don't necessarily like or whatever, like let's also make sure that afterwards like we voice the things that we really do love and appreciate about one another, and the things that whatever. So yeah.
Ashley Mata, I just found your channel today.
Oh, well, hey, girl.
Let's welcome Ashley to the channel, to the P&M fam. First, I thought your last name was Meta, and I was like, are you part of Facebook's new rebranding?
The name of the question cards is Sexpectations, and the people who made it, they're called Dear Young Married Couple. It's like I think that they have an Instagram, I know that, called Dear Young Married Couple, and they just put out a lot of resources on just marriage and sex and things like that.
Honestly, like sex education within marriage, and even perhaps some before, like to get a little bit of a grid of what's going on. The biology and whatnot, but within marriage, communication, growing in that, it is a really good thing, and I would highly recommend like married couples be reading books, and not just like right when you get married and then you're done. Right. It's an ongoing.
They're the rest of your life. I think Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott said that every year they read one book, just one, but every year for their entire marriage they read a different book on sex, just to help them kind of like...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like such a good idea.
Yeah, and so like getting these cards was really cool, and like we said, we've only answered 2, but like we just saw like that this was really beneficial for, and it's not just specifically about sex, you guys. Like sex plays a really big role in your marriage, but there's so much more wrapped around that, and just your whole marriage and communication and trusting one another and building of like strength in each other, and like just so much. And so yeah,
our moderators are on it. I see y'all putting people in timeout.
Good girls.
That's good. You guys are doing
good job, ladies.
Doing a good job.
Michaela. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You guys probably have seen, but normally for the playback of these videos, when it's topic related, I will trim it down so that it's like 30 minutes instead of an hour long. And it'll be just like around us talking about the topic. But this Q&A is so good, and I think it is beneficial to hear this, whether you're, hoping to be married soon, you're already married. So maybe I'll leave some of the Q&A. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. All right, two more questions. And then...
You too, sir.
And then we are on. What are you guys getting into tonight? Thursday night.
It's Thursday night.
Yeah, what are you guys up to tonight? Morgan and I
This
are gonna...
is so weird. We're not going to be live tomorrow.
It is weird.
We have our Friday.
You guys.
Freedom Fridays.
Freedom Fridays. It is weird not to be going live on a Friday, but I really think that this is going to be fun. This Monday, Thursday live.
It's been good, guys. It's been good.
Yeah. Let us know what you're up to tonight. Guys, Oh, Chris is calling me.
Chris is our friend.
Chris, I'll call you back.
He literally answered it in the live.
Say hey to the P&M fam. We're live on YouTube. Oh yeah, yes way.
Yes, we're literally live.
Oh, wait, say that again.
What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the Paulandmorgan family?
That's Chris. Chris, we're talking about sex. We gotta go.
Oh my goodness. Hot topics. Let's get out of here.
Hey, I'll call you back soon. Bye.
Oh my goodness. That was great.
But yeah, no, I think this will be really cool. I was gonna say, like, we've been on for just over an hour. Think about this, you guys. We will be going live for 12 hours. That is a full 12-hour sun up to sundown.
Oh, right. And we've only been live right now for 1 hour.
We will be going live for 12 hours, and you guys will be telling us
300 patrons.
We'll be telling us what to do with our day. Could get crazy. Like, I am really excited about that. So sign up for Patreon if you guys haven't. Patreon link is below. All right. Nicole says she's playing volleyball with fam tonight. Volleyball or did you mean volleyball? You probably meant volleyball. No, I think you meant volleyball. I'm assuming that that's a real thing, and that intrigues me.
Huh. Very interesting.
We're
talking about sex. Gotta go. Will only the Patreons see the 12-hour live? No, we'll be live here just like this on YouTube, but our patrons will be the ones who maybe, I don't know how we're going to necessarily do it. We might have them like, whatever, just
we
write
might just
in
be hopping on
Discord or something to see like what they've told us to do for the 12 hours, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes, volleyball is a thing.
Volleyball, I want to play.
Very good. Very good.
All right, here's Aldro says, do you believe that any Christian that desires marriage will eventually be married, or just some will never be?
I think that there's enough people in this world that if you desire to get married, you can get married. You might just have to like let go of some expectations, because there's people out there who are like, oh, I want to get married so badly, and they've met like 15 incredible men or 15 incredible men or women, but they're like being way too picky, and it's like, okay, do you really want to get married, or are you waiting for your prince or princess to drop down from heaven above? It's like, marriage is work no matter what, so just find yourself a good quality man or woman of God and marry them.
Sage advice from Morganologus. Volleyball is like volleyball, but in a racquetball court, you play off the walls. It's fun. Sounds like great exercise.
It sounds like racquetball.
Octavia asks, how can I pursue a man I'm interested in? He's a worship pastor, and I feel God calling me to pursue him. I don't want to come on too strong too soon. Morgan, I feel like you'd be a good one for this.
I would just say, just put it out there that you like talk to him when you can, like in person, or if after church service you're around, you invite him to come to coffee or lunch after church with a group of friends. Like, just kind of putting the hints out there of like, hey, I'm interested in getting to know you better.
If a guy is ready for a serious relationship, and then there's a girl that is not necessarily like, hey, would you go out with me? Not suggesting you do that, but giving him hints, giving him signs, he is going to reciprocate. Even a shy guy is probably going to reciprocate and go ahead and make a move when the girl is showing interest.
Yeah.
I mean, I made all kinds of moves, so to speak, without any girls showing interest, but I was kind of unusual. I was like really wanting to get married, but there are plenty of guys that they see a girl asking him lots of questions, inviting him to go out with the friend groups, they will probably get the hint.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to end this video, but before we end it, I'm actually going to play our Patreon video just so that when we like re-edit this down or whatever we decide to do, it will
Weren't we going to play that? Weren't we going to play that like right after
Yeah, we were going to, but I think that we should still be able to make it work now. So,
let's try it.
I think that this is the right one. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for watching this. Well, are we going to end it right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good place to end it, yeah.
We love you guys. Thanks for watching this live video with us and hanging out. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Love you guys. Excited for Monday.
Woo, woo.
Later.
Let's see if I can work this.
Hey guys, as you may have noticed, we get very few brand deals, which is why our patrons, the names you see here, are so important.
You guys really are the lifeblood of this ministry. We could not do this without you all. If you believe in this content and you want to partner with us on Patreon, click the link below or just go to patreon.com/PaulandMorganshow.